What's up, guys? And how is everybody doing out there? I hope everybody is doing well. Um, First of all, let me begin by saying I am not an attorney, I am not a lawyer, I am not here to interpret the laws of the Philippines. That's not me. Um, what do I mean by that? Today, I went up and met with an attorney, one of the very big law firm, very well-known, respected, top law firm here uh, in the city. I wanted to talk to him and get his professional opinion, not professional opinion, the law. I wanted him to explain the law to me. It's not an opinion. If he's a lawyer and he studies the law, he knows the laws. He's not some schmuck sitting behind a computer interpreting the law how they want it to be interpreted. This guy knows the law. This attorney knows the law. So I figured I'd sit down with him today and talk to him a little bit about the law here in the Philippines and how it pertains to social media, particularly, I guess that's how you say it, vloggers, people that vlog here in the Philippines. Come in. They have YouTube channels, Filipino, American, Swiss, German, any kind of vlogger out there entering the Philippines. What laws do we need to know? What laws do we need to abide by that we know we're not breaking the law? And the gentleman sat a good hour. The attorney sat with me. I'm only going to share with you guys what he told me. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just sharing the information that he relayed on to me. One of the first things I asked him, because you always hear this, or I've heard it. I don't know if everybody hears it, but I heard it. It is illegal to vlog someone without their permission here in the Philippines. It's against the law. No, it's not. No, it's not. It is not against the law. Here's how he explained it to me. If you're in your house, that is your safe space. That's your safe space. The second you step out into public, you are no longer in your safe space. You're in the public. You can be recorded. You can be filmed. You can be photographed. What is the definition of a public safe space here? Public or a public space? All right, I'm reading this off of the law we're going to get into. Public space refers to a street or streets and alleys, public parks, school buildings, malls, bars, restaurants, transportation terminals, public markets, spaces used as evacuation centers, government offices, public utility vehicles, as well as private vehicles covered by an app-based transportation network service, and other recreational spaces such as, but not limited to, cinema halls, theaters, and spas. Guys, and we even talked about this, bars. If a establishment invites the public into a bar, you're open your door for the public. Even at that point, he says, yes, it is a public space because that establishment has opened up their doors to allow the public in. McDonald's, Jollibee, Burger King, all that. They're all public spaces. Bars, it even says bars. Now, the bars around here, you guys know what I'm talking about, Walking Street and all that, they specifically say, no filming, no photography. You got to respect that. If an establishment says, listen, please, no filming, no photography, nothing, You got to respect that. However, if it's, a bar down the road like, Envy's or something, or Philly's, or even a bar, if the management, doesn't mind, or you talk to them and they say, yeah, we don't care. All right, you can, but you got to respect the space of, say, a bar or a restaurant. If they don't want you to do it, then respect that. So there it is. That's their definition of a public space, right? So then we went in, we talked, and I said, what about the guy that says, I own the right to myself and my image. You cannot film me because I own that right. Yes, you do. However, here's where it gets funny and here's where it gets difficult. Yes, you own that. It boils down to, and you're going to hear me say this a lot, it boils down to the content of your video, the beef and the meat of your video. If my video is, I'm walking through the mall. I'm showing the mall here. Here we go. We're walking through the mall. Look at the food. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. And you happen to pass by in my video. 5 seconds, 10 seconds. You just happen to be in my video. However, you're not the meat of my video. I'm not running up to you. I'm not shoving the camera in your face. I'm not saying, hey, look at this guy. What is he doing here? Why is he here? And I'm shoving it in your face. If I'm not doing that, you don't have, guys, listen, I'm telling you, I'm only telling you what my attorney told me, my lawyer. That person's not the meat of your video. However, if that person is the meat of your video, sort of like, here's how he explained it to me. He goes, for example, and I liked it. For example, I get a lot of for examples. In other words, for example means here's a scenario, or you know what I'm saying. For example, if you're, and he used this, like a Michael Jordan, you're using the image of Michael Jordan to make money. You sit down, you focus on Michael Jordan, you talk about Michael Jordan. Everything is about Michael Jordan. You're using his image for you to make money. Now, Michael Jordan can turn around and say to you, hey, you've used my image for you to make money because that was the focal point of my video. You understand what I'm saying? If you just happen to be in a video, you're just in it. You can't demand, excuse me, you can't demand money. Excuse me. You can't say, you've used my image and that's my image. I have the right to that. There is no such thing like that. Like I said, I'm only sharing with you guys what he is telling me. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's talk about Republican Act 11313. This is the act that a lot of people, I will not say a lot, I would say a handful that like to stir the pot, like to twist the law to how they want it to interpret, even though they're not a lawyer, don't know anything about the law. All right, this is what we're talking about, the Safe Space Act, Republican Act 11313, an act defining gender-based sexual harassment in streets, public spaces, online workplaces, and educational or training institutions, providing protective measures and prescribing penalties thereof, also known as a Safe Space Act. There are, let me see, sections, multiple sections in here, all the way down to Section 41. And underneath them sections, there could be sections underneath that. Section 41, subparagraph 2, 3, ABC. There's multiple subparagraphs under it. Some of it, a majority of it, don't even pertain to, say, vloggers or people taking photos and videos. Approved April 17th of 2019. So it's a fairly new law. And it is a law. It's signed by President Rodrigo Duterte. and Speaker of the House and President of the Senate. So it is a law, Republican Act, which is a law. So there it is. Like I said, there's 41. And under that 41, there are Articles 1, Articles 2, Article all the way down to 5, 6, 7. You guys can look it up and even see it yourself. So there's 7. So we're going to get into this and talk a little bit about this. And like I said, these are the things that I spoke to my attorney about that pertain to vloggers only. Actually, Section 3, definition of terms as used in this act. All right. A, you guys ready for this? A, cat calling refers to unwanted remarks directed towards a person, commonly done in the form of wolf whistling and misogynistic, transphobic, homophobic, and sexist slurs. So what that's basically saying is, God, you whistle at a girl. Hey, baby. Hey, this. Hey, that. They're saying that you're violating the terms and you're violating the law here. Good God, could you imagine that? There'd be a parade of tourists here that come here at Angeles City for the beautiful beaches. There'd be a parade of them walking up the street. With some of the things I've heard, right? Anyways, let's move on. Let's go to, where is it here? Section 3, E. E as an echo. Gender-based online sexual harassment refers to an online conduct targeted at a particular person that causes or likely to cause in others mental, emotion, psychological distress, and fear of personal safety. Sexual harassment acts including unwanted sexual remarks and comments, threats, uploading and sharing of one's photo without consent, video and audio recording, cyberstalking, and online identity theft. Here's where the people want to jump in there and they want to take a small paragraph and say, hey, you vloggers are breaking the law. Uploading of sharing of one's photo without consent, video and audio recordings. They take that small section there and twist it to how they want it to be twisted. You're breaking the law. You're breaking the law. The thing is, here's the thing. The only one that can say, hey, I feel like this person harassed me. I have mental and emotional and physical distress and fear and my safety. I feel my personal safety is no longer there. I've been harassed, unwanted remarks, comments, threats, cyber stalking, everything. The only one, excuse me, when I get talking, my throat gets dry. The only one that can determine that is that person themselves. They're the only one. The moral police sitting at home saying, I can't believe what that person said about that girl. I can't believe what they said. They did this, they did that. You're the moral police. You don't have the right, and you're not the one that can file a complaint. You can't file it on behalf of somebody else. They're the only ones that can do it. You might not agree with what somebody said or what they did, but you don't have that right. And here's another thing. Once again, goes back to what I said earlier. What is the content and the beef and the meat of your video? Because we talked about it. And I even gave him examples. For example, what if I'm walking down the street? Or let's say I'm walking down the beach. And I'm walking and my video is about the beach. Look how beautiful it is in the water and this and that. And I walk by two beautiful women or one beautiful woman. And in my video, I'm like, wow, she's a beautiful Filipina. She's sexy. She's good looking. Boy, that suit looks really great on her. And I keep going. Or like he said, even a guy, like, you could say, hey, man, that's a handsome looking guy there. You know what I mean? Nice body, looks strong. I wish I looked like that. You're complimenting him. There's nothing wrong with that. You are complimenting a person. It's not your job to sit there and say, boy, he made unwanted sexual comments about her. You're complimenting a person. Who doesn't like to be complimented, right? Who doesn't like to be told, hey, your shirt looks nice. Your haircut looks nice, right? You're complimenting him. Now, if you turn around and you strictly focus on someone and you're like, boy, they're ugly. Look how fat they are. Hey, look at their braces on their teeth. Their hair looks gross. That swimsuit, man, they look terrible in their swimsuit. This, and you're degrading that person. That's a different story. How is complimenting somebody going to give them, stress, emotional stress, mental stress, psychological stress? It's not. It's going to boost their esteem, and Filipinos love to have their esteem, or they'd love to have, they love for people to boost their esteem. They love it. It's great. They love compliments. Who doesn't? However, you trash somebody, but they don't want that. That's going to make them feel bad. And then you upload it on a YouTube channel. Now you put it out there for the world to see. You know what I mean? So complimenting someone, and like I said, it's not your job as a person to feel, all right, they made ugly remarks, or they made sexist remarks, or it's not for you to determine that. It's for the individual who feels that this was done to him. And here's another thing. And we talked about this too. Once again, back to the meat of your video. And I've told him, there's many times where you can walk down the street, and vloggers do it all the time, not only me, but many, many, many vloggers. They're walking along and they see a guy cutting up a coconut. And you're like, hey, how you doing? Man, that's pretty neat what you're doing. And the Filipino's proud of what he's doing. He's happy about what he's doing. And he starts cutting that coconut up and everything like that. And when he's done, he presents it to you. And you're like, man, that was a great job. It was neat. He wanted to be on video because he's happy. He's proud. However, here's another thing. He told me it's best, though, to maybe while you're recording, hey, do you mind if I video record you? Yes, okay. Or if you're going to do an interview with somebody, get their written consent that they've given you the written consent to have them in your video. But, and I know, and everybody knows that does vlog, if somebody doesn't want to, if you're creeping somebody out, right? You guys know that. Example that had just happened here recently. A lot of people will turn their face, and all right, great, you turn your face. You're in my video for a split second. I'm not invading your space. However, if I run over to you, shove the camera in your face, why are you hiding your face? What are you hiding from? Now you're invading their space. So it's a weird thing like that. Like he said, it comes down to what is the meat of your video. If there's somebody's walking by you, they just happen to be in there. You're not breaking the law. There is no law that says you cannot record or video. And let me come down to the other one here, that the guys, certain people, I'm not going to say everybody, because some of these people that love to quote the law without being lawyers and stuff and attack people. The other one is the gender-based online sexual harassment, Section 12. Gender-based online sexual harassment, it includes acts that use information and communication technology in terrorizing and intimidating victims through physical, psychological, and emotional threats, unwanted sexual, misogynistic, transphobic, homophobic, and sexist remarks and comments online, whether public or through direct and private messages, invasion of victims' privacy through cyber stalking, and unnecessary messaging, uploading and sharing without the consent of the victim, any form of media that contains photos, voice, or video with sexual contact. And here's the little phrase they love to jump on: any unauthorized recordings and sharing of any of the victim's photos, videos, or any information online impersonating identity of victim online, or posting lies about the victim to harm their reputation, or filing false abuse reports to online platforms to silence the victims. There's that small paragraph that they twist to I guess their home line or at home lawyers online. The unauthorized recording and sharing of any of the victim's photos and videos. Like I said, like the attorney told me, it's the meat of your video. And here's another thing, and I'm going to wrap this one up. I know it's a long video, but I wanted to share this. It's fresh in my mind after meeting with him today. In order for somebody to file a case against you, you have to, and when he told me this, I'm like, what? You have to meet all the requirements basically in a section. I think that's how he worded it. You have to meet all the requirements in a section. All right. Where are we at here? Let me come here. Let me find this here. The one about online. Let me go. Here we are. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find what I'm talking about. What you have to do inside a lot of these sections, all right? Like gender-based online sexual harassment. You have to basically be violating every single one of these references. Sexual harassment, targeting a person online, causing them to have mental health, emotional health, psychological distress, fear of the person's safety, unwanted advances, unwanted marks, threats. You have to prove that you broke every single one of those, I guess you would say, phrases in that section to be charged. And when I heard that, I said, wait, let me explain that to me again, how that works. And he explained it to me 3 times. He explained it to me. He goes, don't you understand that? I said, well, it's not that I don't understand it. It's just they have to also prove that they have emotional stress, psychological stress, the fear of safety, the fear of this, they have to prove it. They just can't say it. They have to show that they've gone to psychologists, they've gone to therapy, they're on maybe medication, they fear for their life. They have to prove all that in order for you to get convicted of it. Or for somebody to even look into the case. You see what I'm saying? And the thing that brought me, that surprised me was like, wait, you have all that? He's like, yeah. And he told me, he goes, I don't know of any case yet where someone has brought up on the charges of this Safe Space Act. Guys, there's a lot more in this Safe Space Act, a lot more. I'm just covering the small parts that may deal with YouTubers or social media people, the small parts. And like I said, it's a small section in there that without speaking to an attorney to understand how that applies to social media and YouTube, without talking to a attorney that has a degree, I didn't know. So if you hear somebody try to give out information, you might be saying, well, Philly, you're giving out fake information. Well, I say what you want. I was at the attorney's office this morning, clearing this up and talking to him. And guess what? I know I'm safe. I'm safe. I've done nothing wrong. I haven't broken a law. What I've done is I've maybe have offended somebody's moral policing that they like to do from wherever they're at. Here, there, everywhere. The moral police. I've upset a moral policeman. That's all I've done. But I know for a fact, based on a lawyer who's practiced law here in the Philippines, knows the Philippines law, I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong. So I wanted to put that out there. I know I've been yakking now for a while. I don't know where I'm at time-wise, 25 minutes. So there it is. If you have any concerns about anything, you know, if you're a vlogger, if you even Facebook guys, even Facebook, these laws apply to you also. Even groups. If you're in a group and you're in a forum and you're in something, you know, that's out there that has access, that people have access to online, these rules apply to you also. Uploading videos, uploading photos, these all apply to you also, not just vloggers. Not just vloggers. So, like I said, if you have, you know, like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just sharing what I learned today. If you have any questions, contact a lawyer. Contact a law lawyer. Don't contact a lawyer who knows how to find out if a deed is good in a house. Now, I'm not saying all lawyers. Get a specific lawyer that deals with the laws. They know it. They go to school for it. They study it. Quit believing and quit listening to the clowns, and that's what they actually are. Clowns that want to interpret the law. They're not a lawyer. Maybe they dialed 1-800, I got a law question, and they got a hold of a lawyer over in, I don't know, maybe Uzbekistan. And he talked to a lawyer in Uzbekistan who knows nothing about the laws of the Philippines. But anyways, guys, contact a lawyer. I did. And matter of fact, I'm going to have him on retaining for me. Guy knows his stuff. So, all right, guys, there it is. Figured I'd share that. And yes, I wear my sunglasses at night if you follow me, or inside. If you follow me up this way, I have two lights here. I have Elgato lights here, studio lights. If I take my glasses off, they're very bright and they hurt my eyes. That's one of the reasons. Plus, I don't know, because I want to, right? All right, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for listening. And leave your comments down below, and we'll talk to you later.